For thousands of years, sailors returned from the sea with terrifying stories. They spoke of creatures longer than ships, monsters coiling through the waves, eyes glowing in the dark. Maps warned of sea serpents waiting to swallow men whole. But here's the truth. Many of those legends weren't pure imagination. They were real animals, misunderstood, magnified, and feared. Today, we'll uncover 8 mythical sea serpents explained by real animals. Stay until the end, because number 1 was once considered myth itself, until scientists caught it on camera. Stormy waves would look exactly like a monster rising from the abyss. Even today, fishermen report squid washing up on beaches, their tentacles still twitching. Every photo reignites the myth of the Kraken. Maybe it was never just a story, it was science, hidden in the depths. Moving on, we meet Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent of Norse mythology. According to legend, this beast was so massive it encircled the entire earth. Its tail locked in its jaws. When it rose, it would trigger the end of the world. Of course, no serpent spans the globe, but many believe these stories began with sightings of oarfish. Known as the king of herrings, the oarfish is the world's longest bony fish, reaching lengths of 36 feet. With its silver body and red fins, it looks like a shimmering ribbon serpent. Articles describe how oarfish often surface after storms or earthquakes, sometimes washing ashore in front of stunned villagers. Viral videos online show beachgoers gathering around massive silver snakes pulled from the surf. To ancient sailors, seeing something so alien would feel like witnessing the rise of a world-ending beast. The next serpent made headlines in 1817 when fishermen in Massachusetts Bay claimed they saw a 100-foot-long monster twisting through the waves. Newspapers published detailed sketches showing a snake-like creature with humps rising above the waterline. Panic spread, and soon hundreds of witnesses claimed to have seen it. But science gives us a simpler answer: basking sharks. Articles explain that these gentle giants can grow over 30 feet long. When they swim just below the surface, their dorsal fins and tails often break the water in sequence, creating the illusion of a long, undulating serpent. Add in fog, fear, and a group of fishermen eager to tell their tale, and suddenly a shark becomes a dragon. In the cold waters of Iceland's Lake Lagarfljót, legends speak of a monstrous worm. Stories dating back to the 14th century describe a serpent so long it could coil around the lake. Even in modern times, viral videos claim to show it writhing beneath the icy surface. But many scientists argue the explanation is much simpler: ice and debris. Articles explain how frozen vegetation and currents can twist together into shapes that move like snakes. With fog covering the lake and ice drifting in odd patterns, the illusion of a living creature is almost unavoidable. Yet locals remain divided. Some insist they've seen it with their own eyes. Others say it's nothing but floating ice. The fact that videos continue to circulate today proves one thing: people love to believe in monsters. Next up is the Cadborosaurus, or Caddy, said to haunt the waters of British Columbia. Descriptions vary. Sometimes it's a serpent with a horse-like head, other times a scaled dragon twisting through the waves. By the 1900s, newspapers printed story after story of Caddy sightings, claiming dozens of fishermen had encountered it. So what was really happening? Many scientists point to sea lions. Articles explain that when sea lions swim in a line, their heads bobbing up and down, they look like the humps of a giant serpent. Whales too, especially when several breach in succession, can create the illusion of a single, enormous body. Still, catty sightings remain some of the most common in Canada. Whether sea lions, whales, or something else, the myth of Cadborosaurus refuses to fade. Moving inland, we find Ogopogo, the legendary serpent of Lake Okanagan. First described in indigenous stories, Ogopogo was feared as a powerful lake spirit. In the 1900s, dozens of blurry photos and shaky videos fueled the myth worldwide. Witnesses describe a dark, multi-humped creature moving just below the surface. Scientists, however, point to a likely culprit: sturgeon. Articles confirm that lake sturgeon can grow over 20 feet long, with ridged backs that resemble humps rising from the water. To frightened onlookers, especially in low light, a massive sturgeon could easily transform into a monster. But despite countless expeditions and sonar scans, the legend persists. Even today, new videos claiming to show Ogopogo continue to appear online, keeping the serpent alive in modern imagination. Of course, no list of sea serpents is complete without Nessie, the Loch Ness monster. First mentioned in the year 565, Nessie exploded into global fame in 1933 when the famous surgeon's photo showed a long neck rising from the water. For decades, articles, documentaries, and eyewitness stories fueled its reputation as the most famous sea serpent in the world. But science suggests simpler explanations. Waves caused by boats, floating logs, and swimming deer can all mimic the shape of a serpent. In fact, modern sonar scans of the loch show no signs of giant creatures, and the famous photo? Later revealed to be a hoax. Yet Nessie's legend refuses to die. Tourists flock to Loch Ness every year, hoping to glimpse the monster. It proves one thing: sometimes belief in a serpent is stronger than evidence against it. And finally, number 1, the mysterious deep-sea serpents explained by eels. From Ireland to Japan, sailors across cultures have described enormous snake-like creatures slithering through the waves. Articles highlight the giant conger eel, which can reach more than 10 feet long, but fishermen's stories suggest something even bigger. Some believe undiscovered eel species lurk in the deep, surfacing only rarely. Viral videos show monstrous eels caught in nets, their bodies coiling like sea serpents from legend. For sailors with no knowledge of deep-sea biology, a giant eel thrashing in the water would look like a mythical beast come to life. And given how little of the ocean we've explored, who's to say all the legends are wrong? From the Kraken to Nessie, sea serpents have haunted human imagination for centuries. But behind nearly every legend lies a real creature: giant squids, oarfish, sturgeon, whales, or eels that inspired fear in the unknown. The ocean is vast, and even today, it hides monsters waiting to be discovered. So tell us, which serpent explanation surprised you the most? Drop your answer in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, because next time, we'll uncover even more legends where science and myth collide.